Welcome back to our humble San Diego podcast. I'm your host, Swann, and this is Drop the Mic. So this week will be slightly different as we will not be reviewing a film in depth, but I wanted to drop in and still deliver some content focusing a bit more on the warm-up segments. First up will be pop culture news.
And now for a special news report, brought to you by Drop the Mic.
So a sixth installment of the Scream franchise has now been greenlit from Paramount and Spyglass, and we'll see the return of director team Radio Silence, who helmed the latest entry that has now cleared 100 million globally. Original writer Kevin Williamson will also be acting as a producer on the new film as well, with Guy Busick and James Vanderbilt set to pen the script. February 4th marks the anniversary of the ill-fated Scream 3, which is pretty ironic because the original Scream 3 treatment was very different from the final version the fans received. With writer Kevin Williamson not available to commit to writing due to him being very popular at the time, Aaron Kruger stepped in to help flesh out the script. But he was eventually pulled off to work on Reindeer Games, which left Laeta Kalogridis to help with rewrites. For anybody not familiar with her work, she did write the screenplay for Shutter Island, which is a fantastic Scorsese film. The result was a muddled piece of work which doesn't quite find its footing, especially with Neve Campbell also being very busy and only being able to shoot for a microscopic 3 weeks. The original story was supposed to bring back Stu Macher, aka Matthew Lillard, who survived a TV accident and went to prison, only to eventually wreak havoc on Sid and the gang once again. However, this never came to be seen because of the events of the tragic Columbine high school shooting, which is why the studio stepped away from the gore and high school elements altogether, moving the shooting location from Woodsboro to Los Angeles and forcing Wes Craven to hyper-focus on the more comedic elements, and even switching the killer from a planned 2 killers to a single killer more than halfway through the production. As you probably know, Roman Bridger ended up being the reveal as Sid's stepbrother, but it was actually supposed to be Bridger and his love interest Angelina, played by Emily Mortimer. Scream 3 seemed to have the misfortune of coming out at a very strange time in Hollywood, and it probably would have benefited if it was held back. But the good news is that we have a new film, and I feel like they might be pulling some elements from that scrapped script of Scream 3 and infusing them into this new one. Of course, that's just a theory. I'm a big fan of, obviously, of the Scream franchise as it's grounded in true crime and in this kind of great whodunit formula, which isn't done too often, at least in the climate of today's horror, right? Which also they totally touch on in the new Scream 5, I guess, or Scream. Ghostface is back, going out on another outing. Very exciting time to be alive. Moving on, Little Caesars have teamed up with Batman to bring us bat-shaped calzones, and for 4 weeks they will be giving away free mini posters with each purchase. There's going to be a new design each week for Batman, which is, does it get much better than that? The calzones, if you're wondering, are $7.99, and they are shaped like the bat signal. Pretty rad. I haven't tried it yet, but you can bet that it's on my list of things to do, as I think the first week has officially kicked off. So if you're interested in collecting all the posters, get to your local Little Caesars. Plug me if you guys are listening to this. Also, if you're listening to this, please check out our online shops, House of Char and A Pin Apart, as we've been releasing some new gear for the beginning of 2022, including some brand new resin-sealed motel tags, as well as some new stickers and pins. If you are interested, check out our Big Cartel online storefront. It's hocxapa.bigcartel.com. That's hocxapa.bigcartel.com. Also, of course, can't kick off February without giving a shout out Black History Month. Be sure to show some love, as well as show some love every month of the year, Very, very important. Goosebumps is also hitting the reboot button, bringing the show back, but this time to Disney+. Looks like it will be following a singular story over several episodes, which is very similar to the formula Nickelodeon used for the recent Are You Afraid of the Dark Resurrection. Very interesting. I think Disney Plus has ordered 10 episodes, so we're going to see how it goes. Hopefully, it's more grounded and better than the movies that Goosebumps have done recently. Wasn't a big fan of them. I felt like it felt more like Jumanji. I just hope that they go back to the kind of slightly darker tone of that made the Goosebumps television series from the 90s and early 2000s what they were. Cutting edge and fun. R.L. Stine is rad. So look out for that coming soon. We'll move into a quick piece for the Gamer's Chair. GTA 6 has finally been confirmed by Rockstar Games. It's been almost a decade since the last entry, with DLC still being released for 5. Very, very big news there. Lots of rumors and stuff happening over the years when this next installment would finally be coming. But it's well underway, as they've officially said. It's gonna be awesome. Hopefully it doesn't take them too long to release it. Always a fun time. Always controversial. GTA 6. The Evil Dead video game will be released May 13th, 2022, and we've just learned that the pre-order process will be available by next week, with some sweet bonus reveals. Also with some new footage, unseen footage, from the game. I'm very interested to see what they do with this game. Hopefully it's better than... Not to say that the Friday 13th online game was bad, but it had a few bugs and stuff, so I'm hoping that this one will be a little bit more fleshed out and fun. Big fan of the Evil Dead franchise. Moving on to shows, and more shows. I wanted to give a shout out to our frequent collaborator, Mr. Admiral Atlas, will be performing on February 17th, 2022, amongst other great San Diego underground hip-hop acts. Catch them at the OB Rassle House on the 17th. Shout out again. Thanks, Bud, for all the music, for being a rotating co-host. You're a great dude, a great friend. Very, very talented. If you're listening to this, thank you for everything. Sincerely. Also, another show which is sadly sold out for the beginning of February, GZA of the Wu-Tang will be performing Liquid Swords, which is a incredible staple for hip-hop in general. He's going to be performing obviously in San Diego at Brick by Brick, a very interesting venue that he chose. So if you're going to that, congratulations. It's going to be a crazy show.
And now it's time for the weekly recommendations.
Quickly moving into our weekly recommendations, I just had the chance to watch The Harder They Fall, which is a revenge tale set in the Old West that uses an ensemble of some of the best African American actors in the business today, including Zazie Beetz, Regina King, Lakeith Stanfield, Jonathan Majors, Idris Elba, Delroy Lindo, RJ Seiler, amongst many, many more. Check it out right now on Netflix. Great Western piece. Makes a bold choice of using more contemporary music throughout, but this is one of the rare occurrences that it fits the bill. It didn't bother me. Very, very fun time. Well executed, solid performances all around. Shout out to specifically Lakeith Stanfield and Regina King, always coming through. Great movie. Check it out right now on Netflix. Moving on, this time to Hulu's brand new Pam and Tommy series. Not sure if it's a mini series or not. But it dropped earlier this week with the first 3 episodes available to binge right out of the gate. Lily James and Sebastian Stan are incredible as Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee, a huge couple within the 90s era. The story seeks to follow the release of the couple's infamous sex tape with the boom of the early internet. Also wanted to give a huge shout out to Seth Rogen and Nick Offerman, who are a revelation as Rand and Milty. Check out the show so far. Incredibly authentic. There's such an incredible attention to detail, even with just the recreation of everything. The performances, the tape itself has been recreated, and it looks very, very authentic. Probably the one of the most unlikely successes to come out within the early year of 2022. Pam and Tommy, so damn interesting. Can't recommend it enough. Check it out. And that is pretty much what I had for you guys this week. I know it's going to be a pretty short show, so I apologize for that. But stay tuned for next week. This has been Drop the Mic. We have a social media presence on Instagram, if you're interested in that type of thing, at @dropthemic_podcast. That's at @dropthemic_podcast, where we basically show everyone what we're going to be talking about for the week, whether it be, highlighting our weekly recommendations, some specific pop culture news, or just various artwork for the movie focus of the week. Give us a follow. Check us out on there, or just subscribe to the show wherever you listen to podcasts. We are available on all major podcast platforms, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So if you like what you're hearing, please give us that 5-star rating, and maybe a few kind words as far as a review goes, if you're feeling inclined. We've been doing this for almost 5 years, about 4.5-ish, releasing new content every week. Sometimes a little bit staggered, a little bit late, but for the most part, we've kept a solid schedule. It's been great, enlightening. Podcasting is very therapeutic for me specifically. So for anybody who listens regularly, I appreciate you. We appreciate you. This is a collective. Shout out to everybody who has helped out over the years, whether it be Dennis, James Warney, Admiral Atlas, Chris Pollock, Susie Soto, Emma Duenas, Onarres the Gremlin, shout out. Everybody who has contributed to the show over the years. Shout out to Ryan and Sandy, can't forget you guys. Even Diego Luna, what's up, dude? If you're listening to this, in the unlikely circumstance that you're listening to this, thank you for your help. It's been fun, man, and I can't wait to see what this new year brings. Thank you, everybody out there, for listening. Can't do this without you. Check out the show if you're stumbling upon this. Drop the Mic from San Diego, California. Until next week, we'll say good fight and good night.